Uber dem, and this is non-negotiable. You would go to jail. Remember, this is not a time for us to be like this. You go to jail, but say o threaten nipa, o ka say yanku nipa, o ka say asimesi obi nkokuno, o ka say o yesana ube dem.
Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV there, o say dem yopo.
In Ghana, threatening another person's life with death is specifically a criminal offense. Ghana, your constitution and I am Ramuno, South Threat to be so big kuna a criminal offense. Now, Kevin Taylor, at the Ensembia to Jàil, or just say South Threat to be so big kuna, you be to me at Jàil, Aquacutum, and I'll be to me at them for 8 years, and I said 9 years. Now, or more or more that pretty, and I say or more yacho motuni na bebrina. 99% of or more aerophobia or more threatening the president of Ghana and any wife. Now we are citizens of Ghana, now treat to be sad, a able to me at Chewakutum way and Sema Kevin Taylor and the Tuja PENDREAM TV to subscribe to the channel on not any notification bell no on. Yankuti and Sema Kevin Taylor and the Tuja. Jordan Trey comment section.
Mumubeko jail. And I know why I'm doing this because Mumubeko jail. Now, when you read this document, this is Ghana mra. Ye wo na oho. Waba ukromu da onimu ame. Asema wo kano. Busansa ade no onka. Sa wo se Kevin Taylor di atema ade na katensa ade no so ndi atemi mnante. Asem na wo kana ono ka se koso kana katensa okotena TV so a onka. Na oka wi a no hwe bebi obegina. Now, in Ghana, threatening another person with death is specifically a criminal offense. Ghana mra no kire say oya den o threaten obi life say ube kuna e wo so kodem a criminal offense. In Conformugu prison na achichi omu 99% of them they did what? They threatened the life of the president's wife. Abani nya boni bia, police nya boni bia, rebuilding no resetting no. O reset your maya de nipa bi ya enya emo man no se bi ona ewo sa time no o reset no Kobusa said resetting no as say. Now, when you read the second paragraph, let me read this to you. Second paragraph, let's say. So right now we have established, say, death threats. Ubetuma dem between 1 and 9 years and exceed 10 years. Okotina TikTok I say I munku president no munku ne yere no ubetuma dem 9 years, 9.5 years. Ubedem. Now, for threats of death under Section 75, therefore, the offense is classified as second-degree felony, and a court can impose imprisonment within applicable statutory limits. Inti memo bianya na ajene say, obeka asema fa nwedi me NPP ni onya NPP ni nchen ba afọ akoto wie sikadete party. Yes, we na mo pese bo betino. Sa asema me kai obi ani obetuma cheme. Me se ba afọ akoto no oje bribe e na odete party obi ani obetuma cheme me commit crime bia o Ghana. Yes. Because ba afọ akoto no ye chiame onya 700 pounds. Na say sa chiame no oja demudie. Sa chiame no hu sama ketia na offer me court. But that is not a criminal offense. As say be or threaten obi life also dem emra kind of clearly. Now, when you go for it, says this, it is dealt with under the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, rather than primarily under the Constitution. Inti ewomrada wa sa o threaten obi so obekuna e wo so ko gine fiat ni ye jailu. Inti from ende anybody who threatens a Ghanaian, whether the president, whether the vice, whether anybody, obikro only to me no. So you Ghana ni na utina TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, get certain obi life obi kuna na obi kuna. I will say ye jailu, and I totally wholeheartedly do what support it, and we will all make sure it happens. Moya si be in the TikTok I clean. Moya si na Facebook I clean, and the moje si be in from mu hwam. Di nyina say obakwasia jail in order. Now, Mami Kobenim. What the law says, Embrana dia neka, neka chro, o ye ne chwa be jelu he. Ye ne na Facebook ni TikTok o. O ka se mi na wotre ti obi be report o ni achro. Yeah, and normal. Ye internet snitches. Ye ne so ye ne na mo ho. Ye hwehwea. O ka bibi ne hu so wotre ti obi be achro, ye be chew u be dem. You are the internet snitches. Yes, a police dog. Yeah, cheers, yes, sniffers, yeah, who's our twabia. Hey, Monkofano of Abofunu, and Brandon, I make catch on. Wega, a show too. What's your for? Munimunyansa. Yan son of Padia Papaya to near the area, sense of the chair, no, any and TikTok, Facebook, near him. Oh, yes, so better to be alive as I come out. You have been called, Mudamu Pamon try here. You bet you, oh, Bomodam. Paragraph 3, and I quote, a person, now, what the law says, Section 75 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29 provides, and I quote, a person who threatens any other person with death with intent to put that other person in fear of death commits a second-degree felony. End of quote. You see, Ghana ni biya sebio obekacha nyonku Ghana ni say wo mekum wo de me fa kwan bi so kran pa me yiwe firi ho te say why dream no kran no to say de me ya wo no wo sa nipa no or say ye chew if you say the Criminal Offence Act 1960 no is stating out clearly way enye degree na ohia to understand ochena o threaten obi o Facebook TikTok ya be chew ekufo ade ne hwe abeda ubedam Mahmoud Baomia about and this is non-negotiable. You would go to jail. This is not a time for us to be like this. You go to jail on social media, on Facebook, whatever, and tell them why a bit much a threat Kevin Tiller threatening saying Kokubi Kevin Nipakona for Kevin Tiller court. Because when I would defend this uncle, so be surrounded by Obekunwa. Are you going to sit there? No, you are going to report. It is a NPP in the Munyansa. They just have to do what? They just have to get up and say, we want to make sure we train, we talk to your followers. And say, what you are doing, when it's threatened, you go to jail. Because so one moment, Tiasia. Mama Jiriben said, "You're right, but don't want to go to jail, and they have to be in jail." Now, when you read the last part of this document, it says, "So if someone tells another person, for example, and I quote, I will kill you, and the circumstances show that the person intended to put that victim in fear or being killed, that can constitute the offense of threat of death." So obi kra threat obi say, "Wo mekum keke." So we go to TikTok. I say, Mahama de me kuno. Mahama de minyana me kuno. She mo mo koku Mahama. At sa eno kra keke no ubedem. Ubedem. And you don't underestimate these things. Mema kwasie bia ope party position and adao. And ga say the table will change. In the koka say, omo ayechi omo ko shebu nyina wo ho busu for TV so da. Because of threats, Kaso meku nipa, yenkoku president, yenkoku wei, yen say, what is omu nipa, ehia fomba, buburo, nkwasiafo, and more will go to jail. I can promise you that. So many of you people will go to jail. When you threaten and you incite, and you actually will say, I can threaten and incite. Oh, man, munya na munkuno. Okasa ubedem. Now, let me show you something. Media education na me ye send be ya ye ba TikTok. Na se be hu say wo threaten obi and now we incite a group of people or some people say omunkoku obi omunko say ya na yeso catch police ni achew. Say me ye bia catch police na nipa no file complain ni ameche me. Say me catch enkoku obi a, but as far as I know, when I insult, I don't threaten, I don't incite. Me catch enkoku obi nkuno. Me ka just enko chobi eye dey entity it is why you say NPP no your papa dia it will be na TikTok akeka nkwase asema wo bedam. And you see that idea of pampering people in Ghana nkwasiafo ai we dey uchi ya ba ba ma ai wo ba ba ma chi obi say ye dey emra no achi obi akotum because of the kwasia na wa adwene o say wo ba ba ma obechi obi a unya power na wachi obi because obi anyway ye chi na time no free go to jail. Obia Echiribia went through the court. See, so Obia court, it is the court that makes sure say Emran in the D. Into there, For Kwasiatina Oga say, Yaba power, intimeka we ube dem. Yani, we are on social media, we have men, they are monitoring every single statement. You can criticize, you can insult, nobody cares. But if you threaten and incite, you go to jail. Me catch is a promise. Now let's read this. Under the Criminal Offences Act, 1960 Act 29, a second-degree felony is punishable by imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years, where no specific punishment is provided for the particular offense. You see, Ghana Mranich say, your BB Criminal Offences Act 1960, you'll be a second-degree felony. And then they say, Udi Sadiano, Thréaten, incite here. You can go to prison, bet too much, what to not less than 10 years. Not exceeding 10 years. It went to them 9 years, 8 years, 7 years, 6 years. Ube dem, and you see, the issue is say, I know move brain. What you say? Maybe I make us all TikTok and tell to me you better. Yane, ya ready. Me ako bedu. Me nkasi yango kumobi. Me incite groups of mkokuni pebi. What I do is I criticize. Yes, I insult, but I have not committed a crime for insulting. Mwanga boy sa ankuma ene mumpeni for mu team nanim eka kire mu say so udi atema enye crime atenye any threat different things unless you don't understand. So meka say akwa we de oye jimi for ne kasa ne nye ade o kan na nyansa bi edima medi na tem kra me commit crime. But so meka say akwa we oye jimi for monko chini kwatwa ne tia ma commit offense. Inti samo kasa mu nsue nyansa na mu ejimi. And I want to let you people know maame fo na mo hwe me no papa fo amo hwe me mo amo magugu TikTok mo ntu omo fo say hey Kevin Taylor na aka akire mo no ukoye kin na echiwa obedam because emra ne da ho it states it clearly enya de ebe so kwase bia so wa obe wa agire say Ghana mra no peso obusu no ko busa say reset na say kire say ko busa say reset no ase kire say. Now when you read the second paragraph, let me read this to you. Netie second paragraph and say, so right now we have established, say, death threats. Ubetima dem between 1 and 9 years and exceeded 10 years. Okotina TikTok okay, say I munku president no munku ne yere no ubetima dem 9 years, 9.5 years. Ube dem. Now, for threats of death under Section 75, therefore, the offense is classified as second-degree felony, and the court can impose imprisonment within applicable statutory limits. Inti, memo bianya na ajune say, obeka asema fa nwedi, me NPP ni, onye NPP ni nchen ba afo akoto owie sikadete party. Yes, we na mo pese bo betino. Sa asema me kai obi ene obetuma cheme. Me se ba afo akoto no oje bribe and odete party. Obi ene obetuma cheme. Me commit crime bi ha Ghana. Yes. Because about for to know a chiame onya £700. Nice as a chiame no or jademudie. Sa chiame who's a marketia na offer me court. But that is not a criminal offense. But so alternative so got and a young kuba for to the so when Jimmy till I know moon. When Jimmy Timosaria anyway diatem, mediatem at the end of the day, Ghana branches in a committee crime a moral. It's a moral thing. Ebia Kevin, with the attempt enye emfatao, Bema find to say, who offend out the atemi, a Miami decision. TMA, now we are kwasia. Me say, these are decisions we make personally, they are moral decisions. Hey, now Brantia Pana would the attempt say, Mia, Mian and Pessa, Mia Brantia, the attempt. Hey, now Brantia, who say, na, Cassa, if you know, old dini patem, a Mia, Obagan and Brema, me yede, me commit crime. But, se me decided say meka say yemekum meka che di pe say mo dia montete na mo body trimutuo na mo nkuna that one ma committee an offense nipa na meka tia de betuma acheme aban betuma acheme abu say ade na meka asem no eni se media ta eni ti na uti senkofo se Kevin di atem time ekufo ado so obi antumi ka say Kevin commit crime obi antumi ka say Kevin explicitly ka say yenkoku obi no obi antumi ka say Kevin committed crime because no catch a Ghana for nya so mo check for obunkunu no enti so when Jimmy na obi alternative so I catch say Kevin di attempt yes the only attempt that no got na show asum a wow problem but as far as I know so one person be called jailer you need to refrain from crossing the line of being threatening people or inciting people you need not to so I catch will say sebio miniano asantefo sebio mumubi mundi no kre intina NPP dada mo am insight obia. I am letting them understand. So because say asantefo ni bi Nicaragua for the bi mama NPP sebio ejimi mu a I'm not inciting anybody against them. So because asantefo ni bi petumia omo NPP for omo petumia omo say akanfo nyina mbra together na omo nya tumi wia na omo de tumi na komenhia na omo de so omo makare jimi. I am not inciting anybody against you. I am letting you know there's a difference between inciting, threatening, and insults. Enti mo nkwara na mo gu social media TikTok na mo ejimi no munsu nyansa no. We are on social media. There are so many people like myself. We are monitoring ubedem. Message ubedem. Enti at this point, you know, I have no option than to do what? To advise you. Okay? You see this? This was 2024. 2024. The Joker. I catch a Ghana for say Joker mean the move because Bawumia is Joker. Bawumia calls for NDC organizers prosecution over alleged insult be dropped. Now, this is 2026, sorry. Recently, NDCDB can some Bawumia ufin can some ana enim misinformation and disinformation or can some atuobiso abrenya no kre. Wachachira sama order to Bawumia so abrenya no kre. And a police kofa nipa ne say omri ko gina court Mahamudu Bawumia eka kire NDC aban any police security agencies nya say abrante na wa commit crime. Because when you read the criminal act, who read the Ghana Mrana, they are branded here, no, were committed crime. Now, at the end of the day, who is in charge of every single Ghanaian's security is the Ghana Security Services, the police, the military, Yoku, CID office. They are in charge of Obia security, including ex-vice president Enenehire. Now, Obia committed a crime against the state. Remember, this man calling himself Bawumia, Sebio says Sebio okenkan ade na onim nyansa obehu se obi commit crime even when one can say you don't have the right to say oh my oba nye bibi okro. The moment you give birth to your child in Ghana, it becomes a property of the Republic of Ghana. It is obi commit crime by misinforming, disinforming, saying things about obi to say Bawumia na aban no police, military, Yoko, the security agencies China. It is not because of you, Bawumia Tini Chino. Yeah, chini pani because we committing offense etia or minor mra. Bawumia Jimmy Kakranti, he thought this is politics as usual. Bawumia Junior form nipa mo ben in entumi tunu form Jiminti. He thought it was let us do this for political fans. No. The arrest now, police service arrested. They are not arrested because of you, Bawumia. They arrested the man because he committed a crime against the state, against the constitution. Now, do you understand? And then the whole nature said Bawumia dwene wo form. Bawumia ni tisa kuraba na dwene wo form ontumi dwene beyond baby ojina. Because when somebody goes to steal, and it is the state against Kwame Atta. That means obi ko wiade na cheno. Na ye wuni pa krompa sebio okowi ade free na aban to me chire di ko gina court na prosecutor agina ho aka say wo wiade ade na wo wiade na most important because etia Ghana mra. You as an ex-vice president who is daft, the states, Ghana's constitution is trying to protect you because politics ama mumu bi mu ejimi ewo NPP munti nobody could advise Bawumia say the arrest na yakwachi sa NDC no or misinforming, disinforming can some egu wufi no. It is not about you. It is about the state making sure they do their job. Senebeya obiabe say yewo emra echechere man no. And this arrest police arrest Abrante NDC communicator no. The arrest was to make sure nobody disinforms, misinforms, say things that are not true on other people. But you see, December 2026. Now, when you go to 2024, Mahmoud Bawumia ende Obia can sem so. As we speak today, Bawumia is being paid by the taxpayer. Bawumia is being taken care of like a slave by the taxpayer. Me and you and I, yes, Bawumia. Bawumia is our property. We take care of Bawumia. Ne draws obeshe, insu obenum, baby obedare, baby obeda, ka obetilim, per diem yani Baumia. He's our property. He's like a puppet. He's like a doll on our lap. Into everything about Baumia, it should be the concern of the state. Now, Mahmoud Baumia okase ende obia disinforming amaline no adifemu na abino, and I'm talking about the state taking care of it now or say no. In 2024, Mahmoud Baumia said, beware of misinformation, disinformation. Mahmoud Baumia, the same person and because of dirty politics, childish, mediocre politics in in 2024, he was preaching against disinformation and misinformation. This is the same clown who is out there telling us to say, so be against the state's laws, the criminal act offenses, any idea. We should not do it because the same. It is not about you. Because if this arrest the NDC made was about you, Baumia, now Oka say the state, the constitution should allow the man go. And you, Baumia, you don't need the protection of Ghana Police Service. You don't need the national security to protect you. You don't even need to take salary from us as Ghanaians. Because say, oh, gee, protection. Oh, Baumia to kwanya ope police. Oh, to kwanya ope military. Oh, to kwanya ope national security protect you. That is what the constitution provides. That's what the act says. It needs to protect every single Ghanaian from the people who will malign, disinform, misinform, who even try to do what? Harm you. Now, why are one American Muslim? You want the state to provide you with security. You want the state to give you shelter. You want the state to give you salary. But because if you don't want us to, the state, the constitution to protect you, they don't demand anything from the state. And I keep saying Baumia is childish. Baumia is not ripe to be a leader. Young people, J.A. Kufuor, very honorable man, on di boneda, politics, on fan and sanka obiada, or real sikada, jantra sabada, Kufuor and who crojin, or bagana no, capre. So you were made to believe that. It's yedimuana fe, akwesibronia sa kofa, edien, or kofa a internet buy. Afe na imbebunu kakra umunyini from a year the 2000s, the late 90s, no, they almost started say na sa some way say na no kresa o because okwa abel for computer no so and internet no so kire say the omo ka no the omo ka ba besin de no enye sa nkasa na tie. Now we know the NPP, they have a way to lie, and the way they lie and they say obetime twantro 99% not or the no kreba akwa fam inti utie na omo anom diti radio so there no otumi ditro 99%. Not the 1% no crab aqua film. Into we any pana wajin enough from pana unimunyansa. Quasiba betana resaka say, Baumia did train enamunsiasana, neku for the namurium, desha. It's Yababa bedrew a point where NPP for still don't understand. They still don't respect the intelligence of a young Ghanaian, an old Ghanaian. NPP for still, I'm going to say your mommy for any wafaphobia, any yanananumbia, obu phone crada, NPP tribunasanet. The party is Suasano. Today I'm not doing any hard hitting show, but I want you to, I'm refreshing, I want you to be sharp. Say the bear start your channel, Jinimu, a man for Betias. NPP for down and say you will crash or Ghana. Imagine you say so I'm better TV so radio so no kasa ewo Ghana baby the oma can also be a fa. They are still not there. They still don't understand. And saying it say chichenko for na adikodienti chichenko for nyina say na omo ye nyome bia entwa yi ni nyina na saying so offer Ghana abekwas Ghana constitution abekwasem ni abekwan ayin over Ghana a constitution na emra bebre wom and emra na wom no ebia ne eho asotwe ene de da ho a eni se wo ye ene de wo ye enti o se ati nyome bia se for a long time NPP as a political party no omutirimu no omo feel so entitled to say eni se Ghana ni bia hwe NPP enim ka chen se wo jimi. Now they have been so entitled. Their minds have been shaping to the point where they feel say, politics no, they are the royals. Omo ya this year. Omo Jimmy kura menka so omo Jimmy. Omu wiade kura menka so omu wiade. You don't have the right to tell them say ade a wo ye kwasia ade na wo ye ntem a wo ye kwasia. Don't do that. Because from the time you take party ne to omu trim say party no ahimfie ne te no into obi ntumi nkasa ntia. Even se wo jimi kura eni so obi kasa tia. The same way who say napo ejina TV so ejina stage wa santimemu ejimi ne hoteta no keka nkwasia asem. Still na party no people were offended say ye kacha napo say kasa o kasa de na enye nyansa kasa eye jimi kasa ye nyam penifo enkokoro motoafo dwene wo party mu a na omu defend na po because omu so omu nyini no saa aderi bia de to omu tirim o ye NPP ni dia o nya kwasia sa wo ye nkwasia de kra ye mbo abaso. So the party has still not realized that they are still stuck in that old mentality of we are NPP ye jimi kra men kasa yenim. Now recently a lot of arrests have been made in Ghana and some convictions so esi ya chichen kofo atum. Ni nyina ne say nipa bi use nipa bi ano asem ed mislead young people bi o Ghana ema emu dodo no enya problems. Ma menka bi nche mo amotie mi no. Mo amo TikTok, mo Facebook, mo se mo ye communicators. Me ekobedu. Mabo video bi wa ha na obi abo Kevin Taylor. Nobody in Ghana can come out and say Kevin Ekobedu Taylor Fantinia Wunini mixed tribe but threaten the life of a president. Nobody. So then it means Omo say Kevin Taylor did diatem, they know say be diatem but mean threaten life. So you see the difference. They be about no more kasa, hey Kevin Taylor no. Now, boy, there's what tablet, it's fine. But Ghana Mrano, so would the atema, and your ding, and your bonny a bet you walk to, but say, o threaten nipa, o case young kunipa, o case as simes will be kokuno, o case, o yes, sana, ube dem. And all these people who have been arrested and some prosecuted as we speak, ye Jàil bino, 99.99%, in fact, all of them, they threatened the president of the republic. And he said, Obiti radio so, Obiti TV so. Now, our culture say, Kevin Taylor, time and MPP what power no diatem. Yes, na me diatem because ni padodo no more MPP more boom no more Jimmy. Yes. Let me say this again. Kevin Taylor, time and Kufuor the president no, Bawumia vice president na odim penifo na tem. Yes. Na me di omatam. If you say na emudu do ne Jimmy. But did I threaten to kill Kufuor? No. Did I threaten Mahama Bawumia the Joker? No. What I did was I criticized them and I criticized them hard. The words I used, you might not like it, but it was never a crime. Time my MPP what power. Me also be a jina court to say Kevin Taylor has threatened me. The closest we saw was Kennedy Japan said yen be defaming into about American courts. And the Krobedu in America for say Sebio in Sana Wokan Kanyanse man can free Ghana ma. That's the closest Kennedy Japan got. But you know, defamation and threat in Ghana a chargeable offense. I'll be to my kodem. We need to know the difference between way diatem. Attenye a moral thing. Attenye a moral thing. Ebi awudi na yatete we fear a Christopher wom. Yatete we fear incrimofo ne wom. Wo de o abringing in chese or say obi etia o konso o mia wo hwe akora enisa oka asemi atia no na okun. It is moral thing. Wo na why you say so obi ya de na nya obeka se sebio de wo ye ne nye. He says obeka se de wo ye na ejimi no. It is your thing. So morally, if I choose to insult somebody, it does not make me somebody who has committed a crime. But if you decide to say you threaten the life of another person, per the Constitution of Ghana, so you can go on social media, you can go on Facebook, you can criticize the president, you can criticize the ministers constructively. If a minister is silly, telling me he's silly. But if you say this minister, also with them because you have crossed that line. Inti mo nkora na mudi MPP echi no. Obi ka kire mo say I na Kevin Taylor ye say no busa ne say de Kevin Taylor ye no say de Kevin Taylor ye na o gina so de aka de o ye ade no no onye bi. Because the issue here is so the NPP for echi na and they will show me. Now catch them say yes Kevin Taylor Ekufuado tesoro di natem and so but send abanya ba na abanya catch us say attend you kra na you attend here extreme o cross the line e be chiwa e chire we Jimmy and I be cross the line. And I would like to tell this government, anybody who threatens the president, threatens any Ghanaian, that person should be arrested, prosecuted, jailed. If the president and this government, in fact, the institutions that have been given the mandate to do that, they fail, we will come after you because it is very important. If you want to criticize, you can. If you want to say somebody is acting foolish, you can do that. But for you to go to the extent of threatening lives, if anybody, and I want to say to this government, Jimmy Nibi obe threatening president, ne yere ne ba minister, every single person. Jimmy Nibia obetina social media. And I'm saying this to the Ghana Police Service, the CID department, every agency that has been mandated to make sure that crime is not committed. Say obi te Ghana. Na say oyana adwene say he or she is going to do what? Is going to threaten the life of the president, threaten the life of a minister, a member of parliament, any individual who is a Ghanaian. That person needs to be arrested. Massa. Nobody should sit in Ghana and say, Mikochi obi a yebeka sa abano, cheno, Jàil no. So, omu 50 ya, chiomo, the Jàil yomo. Because if the government fails to do that, what we are going to do is, we are going to make sure the government pays for it. I am not going to sit here and entertain any foolish boy or girl who thinks that because of politics in tea or be threatened. I don't threaten people. Morally, if you think media temunti, it is your problem, it is not my problem. Because Oba Ghana, your nipa bi omu wi preku, omu yeden, omu wi nentwie. Your nipa bi so a omu wi nentwie e wo Ghana, but omu wi preku. So, choices, a moral choice. So me call me di obi atem because I disagree. The laws of Ghana does not make it a crime. But so if you disagree with Obi or your Ghana President Penyini, now say over threaten the life the government are buying show ni Jàil be 15 years. You the NPP followers, you are so stupid. Now let's read this. Mu bebre mu be ko Jàil.